Welcome to FrightFest.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be here?
Oh, it's amazing. This is incredible. I've never been to a big festival like this or any real festival, so it's very cool.
I have to say, I've seen the film.
Have seen it?
Yeah, I have seen
awesome.
it. I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't know which way it was going to land, and it's one of the most entertaining films I've seen in quite a long time.
Wow!
I found it really entertaining.
That's amazing.
So, how on earth did you come up with this bonkers concept?
Yeah, well, it changed a lot during production, honestly. Like, the movie we set out to make was very similar to this, but in a lot of ways very different too. So a lot of the bonkersness of it came from just having to change things on the fly during production and adapt to our environment. So, am I allowed to give spoilers, or is this a spoiler-free?
Light spoilers.
Light spoilers. So, the thing that is there at the end of the movie, all of the components of that were found and we used to build that set in an earlier part of the film. But we had no idea how to do that end part until we found the earlier location, and then it was like, oh, we can use all this stuff to build the final set. So the final set was just used material from an earlier set. So there's a lot of that type of stuff in the movie where just serendipitously it worked out.
So one of the things that I liked about it is obviously people are going to be there for the crabs.
Yeah.
But actually the characters get more development than you would expect in a creature feature like this. Was it important for you to make those characters relatable?
Very. I mean, I knew that the creatures could only take the movie so far, and they would be cool, and I know that the creatures would be fun, and we had a great creature designer, and so I knew that element of it was sort of taking care of itself. But the thing I'm most proud of the whole movie is the casting, and I think that the actors, getting the right actors for those roles was integral for any of it to work. And the main character is based on my uncle who passed away, and so I really wanted to be able to have the arc for him. He had muscular dystrophy, and so there's a tie-in to the main character that I really wanted to sort of give my uncle back his power through this film, like with the main character's arc.
Yeah, I really like the way that the actors really committed to it as well, because again, in this kind of film, actors can kind of ruin it if they take it too hokey or if they try to play it too serious, but they got that balance right. I mean, how did you get that out of it?
It was. They all kind of got the movie right away. It was even the lead actor, Dylan. I met him for the first time like 30 seconds before we filmed his first scene. So we had no rehearsal time or anything, but they got the script and they just sort of got the film. I mean, even Radu, like one of the lead characters, he auditioned, and as soon as I saw him, I'm like, no, that's him. We got him. Like, he's perfect. And so, in terms of getting the right tone, I think it really came down to just casting the right people. Like each of their auditions is basically who the character ended up being. So once we got to set, there were tweaks and changes on each of the different lines and scenes and whatnot. But on the whole, getting the characters right was really done in the casting process.
And which films would you say were the biggest influences? Because I was getting a bit of a Critters vibe.
Oh yeah,
from there.
Yep. Critters, especially the sounds of the little critters. For our crabs, that was a huge inspiration. Eight-Legged Freaks is like one of my favorite movies of all time. That would be another big one. Gremlins, not How I Met Your Mother. I just said it a second ago, and now I'm totally blanking. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. There we go. I love movies. Back to the Future. I love movies where all of the things are sort of made up. It's a device that somebody built and it does something cool, and the handmade aspect of Back to the Future and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, those are big influences. Old Godzilla films, like anything that's in that world is,
And lastly, can we expect a franchise? Because it kind of feels like there's more room for these crabs to come back and
totally.
back.
Yeah, no, I've got an idea for Crabs 2. I would love to make it. All the actors are on board. I'm kind of waiting to find out if people like it or not. If there's enough of hey, you should make Crabs 2, I would love to. I mean, I've got a pretty bonkers idea for where the second one could go.
Even more bonkers.
Oh yeah. There was space and world domination and all sorts of stuff.
I think people are going to love it because I think it's hitting at the right time when we've all been locked up for months on end and it's been a miserable time. So it made me feel joyful. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's awesome. I'm really glad. When we started out, I gave a little speech to the crew, and I was like, the number one thing I wanted to do with the movie was to make something that was fun. like if a scene isn't fun or a line of dialogue isn't fun or something about it's not fun, then it's not working, and like we need to work it again. But so yeah, if you had fun with it, I'm thrilled. That means a lot. I'm glad you liked it.
Definitely, you hit the nail on the head. So congratulations. I hope it goes down well tonight, and I look forward to the next one.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Thanks.